Yeah, let's go to work, man. Facebook, guys, namaste. God bless. How are all of you? Welcome to my little home, man. Happy Wednesday. It's National Bosses Day. And I didn't get shit today. But nah, it's all good. It's all good. I like, I try to help my employees or associates. I call them associates, I mean my employees, my coworkers, my team, that we're all our own bosses, man. We're all our own bosses in life. And how we use that every day is pivotal to the next day that we create. And that kind of gave me the idea as I go to Walmart. I go to Walmart almost every day. I'm such a chick, man. I'm always shopping. I had to get Tori some melatonin. She helps her sleep. What I've noticed is there's a lot of people that really can't sleep. And we're talking a whole section, a 20-foot section of melatonin that was wiped out, man, just gone. It just shows you what we've come to in life. And if you guys know what to marinate something is, marinate is to let sit so the flavors can absorb into whatever you're marinating, seafood, meat, whatever it might be. But at night when we sleep, we're marinating in our thoughts. And your subconscious mind is that stalker, the stalker that we're all afraid of, man. This thing never sleeps. But the good thing about this is if you can marinate some good thoughts into before you hit the pillow tonight or whatever night you're doing, that's a pivotal part of transformation that a lot of people fail to recognize. Because when you're sleeping, you're not really sleeping. Your mind is at work. It's keeping everything functioning. It's like when I'm at work, it's like when the boss is not there, it's still functioning. Not because I'm stalking the people, it's because there's a protocol, there's a process. Indeed, transformation is a process. And when you realize that, as you know, your sleep is so vital to your transformation, but how you go to sleep is so vital to your transformation. What you're programming and to reprogram what you've been programmed to become as you are now, if that made sense, which I think it did pretty good. And that was the biggest help for me, was reprogramming and using the nighttime marination per se, however it may be, 4, 6, 5, whatever hours I got. I really don't get that much sleep. Ask any of my friends, I'm like, where's Sherry? He's taking a nap in the afternoon. Yeah, because I get up at 1 o'clock in the morning every day to do what I got to do and work 9, 10 hours, which I'm fine with. I'm totally fine with. But what I've done is utilize every ounce of that sleep as part of my transformation process. And Keanu Reeves, who I idol, not for his work. I'm not a fan of his work. I'm a fan of his mentality and his morality and who he is as a person. And he penned an amazing quote that I shared today with some encouraging music. It's about standing on top of the world. It's letting go. And a pivotal process of letting go is before you finally, go into that slumber at night, you reassure yourself that everything's okay. You ever hear the phrase, like when you see somebody in the morning, oh my goodness, who pissed in your coffee? They just went to sleep with yesterday's problems. How many of you are getting up with yesterday's problems every single day and marinating in that because it doesn't really go away? You're reliving it even when you're sleeping. That causes the conscious mind to constantly work, hence anxiety and all these other things. You're living back there instead of living where you want to go in life. And Keanu penned an amazing set of words. He said, if you've been brutally broken but still have the courage to be gentle to other living beings, then you're a badass with the heart of an angel. A lot of us are a badass, but with a broken heart of an angel. We've allowed the marination of everyday sleep to really absorb us in life. Does that make sense? Well, we've allowed what has happened to us to reprogram that gentle soul that we truly are. I'm here to tell you, you can be that gentle soul. You can be that person you've always wanted to be, but it's a conscious choice. Not only when you're awake, but when you're sleeping. When you go to sleep at night, what are you telling yourself? This is a great a great thing to really take an inventory of your thoughts. What are you saying to yourself before you go to sleep is pivotal on how your mind reacts when you're sleeping. If you're going to sleep missing somebody or upset or angry, and they always told us, don't go to sleep angry. And this is the reason why, because your mind is always working. And the great thing is transformations, if you implant what you want to happen the next day, it's going to be a great day. I am so grateful for what's going on in my life, no matter what's going on. You start using affirmations like that, and they call it counting sheep. That was the metaphor back then. It was thinking good thoughts before literally everything went black, because they didn't have these kind of lights that we have now to keep us awake 24/7. It's that old time thinking that'll bring you a new life. It's that way of understanding the true power of your subconscious mind. It controls everything in your life. Your conscious mind is the creation process. The creation process. Sleep time is also the creation process. And I want to read you a beautiful set of words by, here's another, Keanu Reeves obviously had a lot of issues in his life, a lot of tragedy in a lot of ways if you do a search on him. This other soul also, I can't imagine, I couldn't imagine losing any of my children at 5 years old like this soul did. And back then, and we're talking in the 1800s, the early 1800s, and this is where the real meat of philosophy is. This is where everything kind of came together. And this guy's, how should we say, what he thought of every day in his life was education, morality, Christianity, moods, and most importantly, metaphysics. He understood the power of the mind. He penned a lot of essays on that, but that's basically now it's called columns. But he penned a lot of essays on metaphysics and the mood and how it affects us in life. And Ralph Waldo Emerson, who 1803 to 1882, living to 80 years old back in the 1800s was almost a miracle. Scarlet fever actually took his son at 5 years old. And this guy who was a minister for several years, actually attended Harvard Divinity School in Boston, and he actually passed away in Concord. There's a lot of history up here, man. A lot of these deceased notables came from this area. It's amazing. I love the history of New England. I love all the history behind it. Maybe I'm such a nerd. I have no idea. But Emerson, he took the likes of Cicero and Plato, Greek philosophers back thousands of years ago, and really understood this principle about the science of thinking and how to use metaphysics in your sleep patterns at night to allow your mind to transform into something even better. And this is the deep, for the deep thinkers out there. In essence, we're all deep thinkers. If I go to Walmart and all the melatonin is wiped out, that means you're a deep thinker, but you're thinking about the wrong things. And I want to read you what he said. I'll keep it really simple tonight. And I got it on my screen because if I wrote this, forget about it. I won't be able to read it because I'm a lefty. And I'll note and denote these words. And it's something for you guys to really think about. And even if you got to pre-write what you want to say to yourself before you go to sleep, some encouraging words about who you are as a person, and let your mind marinate on that every night, you'll be amazed of the peace that you'll start experiencing. The deep sleep, the well-restedness of waking up every day saying, wow, this is awesome. It's letting your mind go and redirecting it and reprogramming it to where you want it to be. And he penned back in the mid-1500s, I got my screen up here from Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said, write it on with your heart that every day is the best day in the year. He is rich who owns a day, and no one owns a day who allows it to be invaded with the frets and anxiety. Finish every day and be done with it. You have done what you could, some blunders, some absurdities. No doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. Begin it well, with serenity, with too high a spirit to be cumbered with such old nonsense. And for him to, he's like me. I'm always in your face, but I do it on a more comical level. He's telling you the facts about what can happen if you don't do this, if you're thinking on the ladder. And I love that. He goes on to say, this new day is too dear with its hopes and invitations to waste a moment on yesterday's. A lot of us, if anxiety is running your life, or if fear is running your life, or fret is running your life, there's a lot of house cleaning that you need to do for yourself, mental house cleaning. And how you start that is simply by putting your head on the pillow at night. I'm blessed enough to go to sleep within 5 minutes, man. I don't know, maybe it's what I've trained myself to do. Train myself what to do. Yeah, certain days, the melatonin's got to kick in when I got to do the overnight shift because I'm not usually sleeping then. We're all trying to force ourselves from distractions out of the reality that we're living. The reality that we're living in is not going to go away. You can't keep using distractions every day, like, hitting the club or hitting the bottle or hitting this to how should we say, temporarily ease the pain. The pain's never going to go away. It's when you face it and when you understand it and you acknowledge it and you start becoming at peace with it is when it starts going away. And how you can start the process of how is when you put as I look at my bed, is you put your head on the pillow at night and tell yourself how special you are. Tell yourself that you're going to get through this. Tell yourself that tomorrow is indeed a new day. That's why they call it a new day. It's not an old day. That's a happy new day. It's like, no, it's not happy old day. Think about it for yourself. Think about what you're thinking about every single day and get into the words of these deceased notables. I mean, they knew something back then. Imagine when the sun went down. They had nothing else to do but sleep. But a lot of them couldn't. So what did? They used their mind. They didn't have the distractions that we have today. They really had to focus on what was fretting them, what was going on in their life, how they couldn't do this and grow that or eat this. And they had to literally face it and figure it out or starve. Think of your life as that way. Think of your life as, if I can't figure this out, it's going to be my demise. That should scare the shit out of you to realize that something else is empowering you instead of yourself. Use National Boss's Day to be your own boss, to be your own badass, to be your own special angel, and realize that we all have this power. And there's nobody different out there, man. We all have the same, we all endowed with this beautiful, beautiful gift called the mind. But we weren't taught how to use it, so we let other things in there that programmed us to think the way we are today. It's when you realize that power, your true power, you'll realize where you're going in life, guys. So America's Mentor, guys, thanks for joining me. America's Mentor _radio on Instagram, at America's Mentor on X. I was going to say Twitter. Twitter is so mundane now. Guys, please follow me, Jerry Maldonado 2, for unique information to help you to your destination. Sleep well. I always tell my friends if I text them at night to sleep well. Indeed, sleeping well is letting go. And you can start the process of letting go when you go into that slumber and allowing yourself to forgive what has happened to you and allow yourself to let go and allow yourself to begin, most importantly, anew with a new day. So happy Wednesday to you guys. I'll see you guys soon, man.